Hello, welcome back to Waddle. That's a weird intro. Yes, it is. I fucking know. So yeah, I got a second gun now. Just, there it goes. just do what... fuck the guy. And just so you know, this entire thing is fucking busted. Like, this thing in its entirety, busted. As you just saw from just me, it's probably staying in because, yeah. Die. That's a BB gun, by the way. My brother bought it at some point. It broke almost immediately. And, went earlier grabbing it. First off, this is broken. And this is broken. Just, there. So yeah, I have more props now that I'm definitely not going to have trouble keep my fucking mitts off. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. I mean, there's one more prop. But you know what? I won't let you wait. I won't make you wait until tomorrow. This one is a BB gun that actually works. Is there some in? No, there's none in. I have no idea if I'm actually holding this properly. I've not fired a gun like this. But yeah. I have more props now. Can also just like kind of... There's this. Just... Gun stock gun. I could beat the shit out of someone like this. That's the wrong place to put it back on. Anyways, hello and welcome back to the world. My name is Beast. Today we're back with a Sky Full of Stars Fine Days. Last time we did Korona-Route. So today we're going to do Korona after. Since we already did Orime after, and after Korona we only have Sai and Hikari left, which I'm going to do in the order I did the actual routes in. Actually, should I? You know what? Actually put it down in the description below since we have time again. Which you want to see first? Saya or Hikari. But for now, Korona. Which I'm, again, gonna have problems with the video just wanting to put infomercials about Korona in the fucking video. Also, of course you can remove this, just... I should maybe just like buy a shotgun version of that as well. Just imagine the video starts. The video starts and all you can see is just me. Also, I can point this shit at the screen every time, depending on how stupid a thing the character is doing. The lowest difficulty, of course, being this. Afterwards, being this. And the last one, of course, I mean, it should be obvious, being this. Just depending on how much pain the character is making me go through with his stupidity. The bus is packed with students on their way home after school. Having been unable to secure our seats, Yamada and I stood holding the handrail. Okay, Yamada? You should probably stop playing with your phone. Just stop. Looks like she's playing some game. Didn't really get it, but it was probably good time killer. Guess I'll shoot her a message. some idle time to spare, I started tapping on my phone. We're on the bus now. Be there soon. We're on our way to the Mako Astronomy Club. The Six Stars Club's meeting was scheduled for the day. So I'm guessing this is also after Project Starlight, like everyone else. Everything else. By the way, I think I've busted the microphone a bit. This should not be that easy to move. There should still be some resistance to it, but that resistance is gone. Let's go once you've settled down. Tackle. Tackle. Oh! Korona dashed towards me at full speed and gave me a hug that was more akin to a tackle. Thanks, Yoshino Daichi. Astronomy Club has arrived. I welcomed her, in spite of my confusion. But she still didn't let go of me. Korona. Didn't we see each other just 2 days ago? She nuzzles her face into me. Her expressions of love were always so bold and crazy. Sheesh, what am I gonna do with you? It had almost been a year since Korona and I became lovers. We delighted in our love, even at times our friends made fun of us. No. Pretty sure we've already listened to the opening once. And hey, if we didn't, tell me. We still have 2 routes left to listen to the opening in full. Anyways. The beginning starts with Yoshioka's address. Representatives from each school gathered once a month to report on their activities and plan from then on. Or at least that was what the meeting was about on paper. In practice, it was less formal than that. Meiko's representative was Yoshioka, so Korona had a supporting role. She waited for the announcement that the meeting began and started serving black tea to everyone. Thanks, but you could have just given me the same as everyone else, you know. Just Yoshioka behind her. Korona was first class when it came to mixing personal matters with work, but she still couldn't disobey Yoshioka. She blew me a cute kiss as she stepped back. Yoshioka was right next to her, obviously saw it. She is so exasperated with this, like, by God, keep it in your pants, please. I should be saying this to the boy, not the girl. She ran off like she'd been driven out. I nodded at Hikari's words with my arms crossed. You really think so? Why did I immediately, like, I remember one voice line from Majima. I don't know where it was, but it's just Amaya. So yeah, that just immediately reminded me of that. So yeah, Kono's the type to not hold back once she set herself up. Once she set herself on doing something. That said, she acted with a firm grasp on the line that made people uncomfortable, so she'd rarely get lectured by anyone other than Yoshioka. She was crafty and sharp. That was what Korona Kusakabe objectively was. Kusakabe. Where the drinks ended out and everyone relaxed, the meeting began in earnest. Need to put the gun away.
天の中西からは先日の惑星接近の観測レポート。内容の詳細はもうブログにアップしてます。
Oh, planetary approach. That was also in Yoshioka's round, wasn't it? Or am I high? It wasn't Yoshioka's round. Toyota from Amanonaka Nishi was focused on night sky photography, but he still participated enthusiastically.
拝見させていただきました。天の中西さんは精力的に活動していますね。
うっす。西高の観測会はうちも参加させてもらったっす。
Nakajima seemed to be in charge of the blog's prose. No one would think a guy like him created such lyrical writing.
天の中のほうき星さんはいかがですか？私？こっちはプロジェクトスターライトの事後処理で結構忙しくしてた感じかな。
Project Starlight was a huge event that closed last year. It had almost been a month since then, but I heard Hikari spent her New Year's holidays wrapping it all up. Did Saya help you?
光が助けてって泣きついてきたから。さやたんいつもありがとう。愛してる。
And so Saya had her hands full helping Hikari. Couldn't just say how busy they were. I couldn't say just how busy they were since I didn't help them directly myself.
では次、星野大一さんは
We are continuing our radio wave observations for meteors. We have uploaded our data on the Six Stars blog too.
そちらも拝見しました。今月はかなりノイズが多かったようですね。そうなんだよね。こればっかりは空の状況次第だから、コロナたちにはどうしようもなくって。コロナは名工学院でしょ。出しゃばると吉岡先輩に怒られるよ。しまった。
She timidly turned around. However, Yoshioka stood in place, showing no signs of anger.
有声電波観測を行っているのは星野大地さんですが、発起人はコロナさんですからね。じゃあコロナが喋っても構いませんが、せめてスラミ君に話を通してからにしなさい。彼は流星電波観測の共同責任者なんですから。ごめんなさい。秋にもごめん。コロナ勝手に話し始めちゃって。
It's fine as long as you understand. Plus, you've learned way more about radio observations than me anyway. The main person in charge of the radio wave observation wasn't me, but Korona. We had been gathering bits of data throughout the year. To those who didn't know anything, it was just small noise on a graph. But we knew what that noise meant. We felt the existence of meteors in it, so we continued observing. Korona surely felt the same way. Starting to get cold. Turn off the goddamn fan.
では、今後の活動予定についてですが。
Turn off the fan! It's funny because I have like 3 levels of intensity. Just level 1, level 2. I've already shut this off earlier. Whoops. I mean, I guess it kind of looks like it has a silencer. Not really. Not really. Not really. Anyways. Yoshioka, the moderator of the meeting, raised her hand, seeking to speak.
昨年のプロジェクトスターライトは我々にとっても大いなる成果でした。その流れを止めないためにも新たな活動が必要だと思いませんか？
You must never stop the momentum. You must never stop. We must keep the momentum going, or we must never let the momentum stop. That was what the former President Shiratori used to always say. We'd never forget the start of the newly formed Six Stars Club with Pleiades 1's first flight. We strive to keep that energy from dying out, but it never grew as large as Shiratori wished. Do you have any specific ideas in mind?
そこまではまだ。
Whoops, not what I wanted.
今の時期は大きな天文イベン
Okay,
ト
it's
も
getting
ないし
warm
ね。
again.
派手な活動となるとちょっと難しいかな。
流星電波観測の素晴らしさを理解してもらうのはかなり困難だと思う。
He honestly didn't have any cards to play. Motion alone would get us nowhere. Here's Yoka, strange enough, reminded me of Shiratori before she
とりあえ
retired.
ず観望会をやってみるってのはどうなの？
Stargazing meetup, huh?
冬の夜空は一番華やかだから見るだけでも楽しいと思う。そうですね。観望会なら悪くないと思います。何もしないよりは絶対にプラスになるはずですから。
An indecisive back and forth repeated. At the end, it was decided to proceed by process of elimination to hold the meetup in February, and we would discuss the specifics of it later. The meeting naturally disbanded around sunset. Yamada and I swayed on the bus on our way back to Hoshinodaichi.
ところで、コロナも来るの？当たり前じゃん！コロナには流星電波観測があるんだし。部長と一緒にいるための口実としか思えないんだけど。そういうことズバッと言っちゃうのよくないよ、ひなみん。それにほら、これを持っていく必要があるんだから。
She proudly showed off the paper bag she held.
何それ？テスターだよ。川中島先輩が貸してくれたんだ。
For noise checking? It feels like there's been a lot of it recently.
相談したらこれでチェックしてみろって。
Amateur radio knowledge was necessary for radio wave observation, more so than for astronomy. Thanks to that, we'd gotten technical support from Kajima's school, Moremisawa, since the start of the project.
秋兄はこういうのあんまし得意じゃないしな。
I'm sorry for being so useless.
あ、別にそういう風に言ったつもりじゃなくてね。コロナ必死すぎ。そんなに部長のことが好きなんだ。当たり前じゃん。もともと秋兄が好きで天文に首を突っ込むようになったんだし。動機が不純すぎる。でも悪くはない。きっとそういうのって大事だと思うから。
You're the last one that's allowed to talk about impure. You are the girl that went into her confession expecting to fuck afterwards. Like, you told your parents and everything. Like, you have no right to talk about impure here, Hinami. My god, you're the most impure out of all the characters, I think. Usually expressionless Yamada showed a rare gentle smile. They poked at each other, but they must have been close friends.
ひなみん！泣きつくならそっち。秋に
You're just going straight for me!
だってひなみんがしていいって。
Why does this just look like Inami sicking Korona on him? Just...
部長を与えておけば、コロナも幸せで、無害に。
What a harsh way of putting it, but she has a point. You were holding it in the whole time in the club room, weren't you? Thought it'd be fine to give her a bit of a reward. She started checking the observation data right upon entering the club room. Though on a day with no meteor showers, there wouldn't be any surprising results.
コロナ、これは何？ああ、それは飛行機かな。
Things other than meteors often appeared as noise too. This one's a meteor, isn't it?
ああ、そうかも。やったね、秋に。
We high-fived each other energetically. Then the celebration ceremony, but then, with the celebration ceremony over, we returned to our
あん
check-in.
まり嬉しそうじゃないね。いや、流星を観測できたのは嬉しいよ。でもひなみんも知ってるでしょ。流星は珍しくないって。そうだね。
Yamada affirmed meekly, then went silent. We'd been doing radio wave meteor observations in this room for almost a year now. We were excited when we had long echoes during the meteor showers, but the piling up of normal days wore down our passion. Oh yeah, what about that tester from Kawanakajima?
次に大きな不具合が出たら使ってみるつもり。今はまだ平気だから様子見かな。
Nothing new really came up though. Everyone knew there was meaning in doing this, but things that got us excited had become considerably few.
ああ、e スポでも出てくれたらいいのに。コロナ、それはちょっと不謹慎すぎるよ。だって。
Sporadic E is in a sporadic E propagation. When a sudden ionized layer forms, the radio waves that would normally pass through get reflected back, causing a lot of noise and preventing normal observation.
ごめんね、二人とも。ちょっと愚痴を言いすぎちゃった。
It's fine, I understand how you feel, so don't worry about it.
流星電波観測はコロナが始めたことなのに。コロナはよくやってると思う。星野第一に毎日来て、ちゃんとデータをチェックして。きっと私には無理だと思う。よくこんな地味な作業を欠かさず続けてこられるなって。地味って言ったな。それは禁句だって言ったでしょ、ひなみん。あ、ごめん。
Radio observation was plain. The word became taboo among us, because we couldn't deny it. I actually played some Among Us yesterday, and turns out I'm a horrible imposter.
地味じゃなかった。小さいことからコツコツとね。その積み重ねが宇宙の真実を明らかにしてくんだよ。ほら見て。去年の夏野辺山に行った時の写真。ひなみんだって大はしゃぎだったじゃん。野辺山は確かにすごかった。いずれ中国にある500メートル球面電波望遠鏡も見に行ってみたい。いいよねあれ。映像を見てるだけでワクワクしてきちゃうもん。ハワイにも行こう。スバル望遠鏡見てみたいし。いいね。ひなみんいいよ、わかってる。
Radio telescopes were often massive structures thanks to the scale of their projects. We could get excited while talking like this, but not progressing past. That was another recent cliché of ours.
部長、見送りはここまでで大丈夫です。
Yamada and I were outside the club room. She was heading home first. I was sending her off. Planned to accompany her all the way to the gate, but she didn't want me to. You sure? I don't mind keeping your company, so you don't have to be reserved or anything.
部長と二人でいるとコロナがやきもち焼きますし。
Sorry you have to go out of your way for us.
いえ、こちらこそ。お邪魔虫になってるみたいでごめんなさい。
She absolutely had no need to think that, but I suppose she felt uncomfortable with us. It was pointless to say anything more, so I caved in. Alright then, let's see you tomorrow.
では、お先に失礼します。おやすみなさい。はっきにおかえり。早かったんだね。
Oops. Korona stopped her studying and welcomed me back. She ended up shrugging me off in the hallway.
ひなみんのやつ、せっかくアキ兄が送ってくれるって言ったのに。
She was being considerate.
そうなのかな?
She's pretty good at paying attention to others after all. There were times when she went along at her own pace, but it wasn't like she couldn't read the room. I thought she was pretty amazing for being able to act normally in front of a couple like me and Korona. That aside, you studying again?
まあね。今から勉強しとかないと、いいとこ進学できないし。
So you don't plan to take the escalator up?
わかんない。でも選択肢は多い方がいいかなって。
Baker Private Academy was an escalator school that went all the way from elementary school to high school. Their graduates could move on to college without taking exams. However, students still applied to other schools for fields of study that they couldn't do at Mako.
延山に就職するには、名校じゃダメみたいだから。
Last summer, everyone at the Six Stars Club went on a field trip to the Nobeyama Radio Observatory. Ever since then, Korona had a new goal. She wished to work there and research radio astronomy. Her cramming began on that day. You sure are amazing. I put into words what I felt from the bottom of my heart.
全然すごくなんかないよ。コロナはやっぱり、ふわふわしたままだし。
Floaty?
ふわふわ。前のコロナと同じ。
I could take a guess what she meant based on that. Those days when she was swept up by those around her, not knowing what she wanted for herself. She was saying she's the same as she was at that time. Seems like your worries go pretty deep, huh?
ちょっと迷ってるんだ。迷ってるからとりあえず勉強してるってのが、我ながら救いがないなって思っちゃうよね。
She gave a forced, dry laugh, but this definitely wasn't something to laugh at. I knew well just how much she agonized over it last year. I'll lend you an ear if you want to talk about it. It might be nice to let it out once in a while.
じゃあそうする。
She leaned on me delicately. She then fawned over me by casually snuggling her head against me.
あきに
Don't worry, I'm the only one here with you. From that on, she rubbed against me repeatedly without saying a thing. After coddling herself on me like a small animal for a while, she finally opened her mouth.
ねあきに。コロナ、延山に就職するんだってずっと頑張ってきたんだけどね。本当にそれでいいのか、わからなくなっちゃった。
Tears distinctly welled up in her upturned eyes.
絶対にこれだって思ったんだよ。運命だってビビって感じたの。こういう感覚は絶対間違わない。アキ兄のことを好きだって思った時も同じだった。それなのに、ねえアキ兄、延山の天文台に就職して電波天文学をやるのが本当にコロナのしたいことなのかな。
That's what internships are for. Probably aren't internships for that. She most likely didn't even know herself. Asking me to decide that for her was pointless.
ひなみんは地味って言うけどね、コロナは流星電波観測好きだよ。楽しいと思う。ムツラボシの会のみんなとおしゃべりするのもあっという間に時間が経っちゃうくらい楽しいの。星を見るのも好き。すごく楽しい。アキ兄とラブラブするのだって楽しくてしょうがないの。でもね、それって天文の楽しさなのかな。コロナはただみんなとワイワイやるのが好きなだけで。コロナ、わかんなくなっちゃった。天文の何が楽しいのかって。
She rambled on all at once, but then quickly regained her composure.
ごめん、アキに、わーって話して。
It's alright. You had a lot pent up inside you. What needed to be done at a time like this? I gently pulled her close, as her boyfriend. We were definitely just flustered. There were things not turning out how she thought they would. Radio observation was certainly plain. It wasn't strange at all to doubt what good it would do for her. I think it's multiple times harder to seek something you can't see than it is to chase something you can. Eyes are amazing things, Korona.
確かにすごいけど。
She looked up at me blankly. The history of astronomy is also the history of the development of the telescope. People made them so they can see faraway stars. From Galilean refracting telescope to From Galilean refracting telescopes to Newtonian reflecting telescopes. Through various scientific progressions, people were able to see stars further out.
それがどうしたの？アキ兄が何を言いたいのかわからないよ。
Even now, after all that progress, we still look at the stars with our eyes directly. Do you know why?
それは、
Because that's how superior our eyes' ability to see is. Even after various technological advancements, you could still say that there's no better optical instrument than our own eyes. It's definitely romantic to want to see what can't be seen. Having dreams is thrilling. But when you're on the verge of losing sight of them, you return to your roots.
それが人の目なの?
I nodded. If you've forgotten the fun of astronomy, I think you should look at the stars with your eyes. Not radio noise, nor invisible infrared or ultraviolet rays. Starting with this radio astronomy, leading to neutrino and gravitational wave astronomy, the results of that research made fantasy reality. The more astronomy advanced, however, the further it separated us from enjoying the stars themselves. If we were to turn back to something, it would have to be to our own eyes. Remember how everyone always called me the astronomer who never looks at the stars, right? But then they showed them to me again. That night, the Christmas tree star cluster reminded me of the joys of stargazing. I could never forget that first night. I wouldn't forget the sky. I wouldn't forget the sky I saw that night for the rest of my life. Maybe you need the same thing. The nights of stargazing that would shake your heart. Korona listened to me in silence. After I finished talking, she gave a single nod of understanding.
そっか。そういうことだったんだ。
To feel passion over something you can't see, you have to look at what you can and know that joy. You probably never experienced something that important. The next stargazing meetup for the Six Stars Club was decided, right? It's a perfect timing, so let's watch the stars there together.
秋に。わかったよ。コロナ、ちゃんと星を見てみたい。ああ、星がいっぱいだ。
We looked at the night sky while we walked to our house together. Our? To her house together. Even with the street and house lights around, the winter sky enveloped us in its magnificence.
秋に、あれ見て。
She was most likely pointing at Orion. It's a basic constellation, but it spoke eloquence more than any other. A representative of the winter
オ
sky.
リオン座ってかっこいいよね。
Really makes it feel like
オリ
winter.
オン座がこれだとすると、あっちの明るいのがシリウスかな。って
Correct?
いうか、こんな簡単なの言ってもしょうがないか。
Felt like I had a similar conversation with her during last year's first night too. She didn't know much about stars at the time.
でもね、秋に、なんだかすっごく楽しいの。コロナは宇宙の先の先ばっかり追いかけてたのかもね。こんな身近な空にも素敵な星がいっぱいあって、もうちょっとちゃんと自分の頭の上を見てればよかったよ。
Sorry I never taught you something so important. This was my failure. Korona was a novice, so I should have guided her more properly. She never even realized because her eyes were pointed too far ahead.
秋には悪くないよ。謝らないで。コロナが天文に興味を持つようになったのは、秋にがきっかけだもん。スタートは、全部秋になんだよ。
And I hope this isn't the end, and that we can walk together on the way.
コロナはそのつもりだよ。野辺山に行ったあの日、言ったよね。これからもずっと一緒に見ようねって。
I don't know why, but I don't think too much of Korona, so I'm kind of forcing my way through this right
コ
now.
ロナ、忘れてないよ。秋兄とずっと一緒なんだから。
Together forever. Should have said that, but I lost sight of the star. I should have been watching. What star should I watch with her? I wanted to find the stars becoming of our future together.
ささ、上がって上がって。
Sorry for the intrusion.
アキ兄は適当にくつろいでて。飲み物とお菓子を持ってくるから。
You don't need to do
い
that.
えいえ、アキ兄はコロナにとって一番の賓客だもんね。しっかりおもてなしさせてもらいます。
With that, she went to prepare her hospitality. Even if she told me to take a load off, I can't just do whatever I wanted in a girl's room. Girlfriend or not, there were maidenly secrets that must have been touched. That mustn't be touched, hidden about like a minefield.
お待たせー。
Huh? You changed? She had changed into her plain clothes when she came back after several minutes.
まあそんな感じ。それよりほら、アキ兄の好きなコーヒーだよ。もちろんブラック。
Oh, thank you. She went to the trouble of making it, so I decided to drink it while it's hot. This isn't an instant one, is it? It went that far for me.
正解。意外と難しい道具も必要ないんだよ。
Probably made coffee really was on a different level. The coffee at the Maker Astronomy Club was delicious too. And this one was about the same quality.
吉岡先輩に教えてもらったんだよ。美味しいコーヒーの入れ方。
Yoshoka may have been a strict upperclassman, but it seemed like that wasn't all there was to her. She was being a reliable senior, teaching various things somewhere behind the scenes. Proud of myself, I got to teach Yamada something too, I guess.
みなみん、アキ兄からいろいろ教わってるって言ってるよ。
Really? What
お
specifically?
兄ちゃんの撃退法とか、あとインスタント食品の美味しい食べ方とか。
How to repel the brother. I'm a failure.
そんなことないよ。楽しいってひなみん言ってた。普段のことから星のこと望遠鏡のこといろいろ知らないことを教えてくれるいい先輩だって。まあそういうことを独特のセンスで言ってたんだけどね。
I know exactly what you mean. Yamada often said things in her own unique roundabout way. Society might call her edgy, but I knew she was an honest and sensible girl at her core. Oh yeah, where's Saki? It doesn't look like he's home
お
yet.
兄ちゃんならバイトだよ。結構お金いるみたいで大変なんだって。
Is there something he
違う
wants?
って。ほら、デート代。
It seemed with his new relationship with Jinno, he had various large expenses. She didn't seem the type to like expensive dates, but Takichi was probably splurging.
アキ兄は大丈夫？コロナと付き合い始めてお金かかってるでしょ？
Well, I'm doing alright on my end. My expenses increased, but my job kept me from going in the
で
red.
も一人暮らしするお金貯めるんだって言ってたし。
It's okay, I'm still magic fine in that area.
そっか。じゃあ信じるね。
Korona? Why was her face red? She was a bit suspicious, like she was hiding
今
something.
日はお兄ちゃんも帰りが遅いし、お父さんとお母さんもしばらく帰ってこないから、ホテル代節約できるよ。
She spoke in a small, shy voice. What? That's what it was?
なんだじゃないよ、もう。コロナずっとドキドキしてたんだからね。それで、どうなのかな。今日は、エッチしてくれる？
Well, if you want to, let's do it.
じゃあ決まり。
Wait, is that why you got changed?
だって、制服のまましちゃうとやっぱりまずいし。
If that's the case, I don't think getting those clothes dirty is very smart either.
じゃあ、アキ兄が脱がせて。
Yeah, yeah.
でもその前に、キス、してほしいな。
She made a request in a lonely voice, then puckered her lips. Jeez, it's not like we'd just started dating. I gave my girlfriend a kiss. The kiss we'd repeated more times than I knew. Our lips touched while I gently pulled her in. After pushing them together numerous times, as if testing each other, we switched to a deep kiss between lovers. As we did so, I removed her clothing, piece by piece. This process made my heart race, no matter how many times I did it. With her mind focused on the kiss and her face side red, Korona allowed herself to be stripped too. And then there's CG, isn't it? Oh no.
勝負下着だよ。
It's saying that it's saying lucky underwear, but isn't shoulder like fight? Is she calling it her combat underwear? Anyway, see you after the sex scene. Okay, the music has yet to stop, but we appear to have a problem on our hands.
ごめん、アキネ。お兄ちゃん、そろそろ帰ってきちゃう。
Got it? Let's hurry up and get changed. We cleaned ourselves up without even being able to savor the calm aftermath.
ごめんね。ち舐めてあげられなくて。
She apologized over and over while wiping it with a
次
tissue.
はちゃんとするから。ね。
Leave that for later, we need to hurry! We finished up, only truly half satisfied. But this sort of thing had happened several times before, so we weren't shaken at this point. We could just do it again soon. Our relationship had long passed the point of that not being an option. That's the wrong one. Freezing! But with Korona was heading home. The hill to Mikazuki station was pretty rough on bike. The sky grew gradually brighter as I pedaled, standing up. A few lights along the street. Which the stars of Korona, huh? Which of the ones twinkling above me should I pick? Didn't have a clear answer yet. There was no need to be hasty. I was sure this wasn't just something to give, but something to choose together. It was because we could do those things that we were lovers. It was a weekday in the middle of the week. You don't say! And we were having a special guest after class. Yamada and I would, of course, do our utmost to show them hospitality. We were truly fully prepared.
どうぞ。そちらでございます。どうもありがとう。
She took the teacup used for guests from the saucer and then brought it to her lips. That moment, Yoshioka's vaguely distorted face didn't escape my sight.
苦い。コロナさん、失礼ですよ。いや、でもこのお茶はないですって。何か変だった？
We got it from the faculty office, though. Fortunately, we didn't taste test it.
お茶っ葉には問題ないと思う。ひなみ、お茶入れるときグラグラ沸いた熱湯を使ったでしょ。温度が高すぎると苦くなっちゃうんだよ。ごめん。全然知らなかった。高くないお茶だって、ちゃんと入れたら美味しいんだから。はぁ、これではおもてなし失敗です。
I figured this might happen. I took out some coffee or layer powder sticks and made it with the hot water still in the electric kettle.
これ便利ですよね。
Start wanting warm drinks when you're stargazing late at night.
糖分の補給にもなりますし、欠かせないアイテムです。アキ兄はインスタントコーヒー派じゃないの？
I take it case by case, I guess. Coffee's good, but you can't get sugar out of black.
お砂糖は大事です。
Simply hearing the words she was saying gave off an odd survival vibe, but it was actually life-threatening to not eat sweet things, so I couldn't make light of it. Continuing to consume sugarless foods as if they were sweets would lead to a shortage of energy. It was a common mistake.
そんなの知らなかったな。コロナさんは知識に偏りがあるみたいですね。今回の官房会ではそのあたりも学んでおきましょう。よろしくお願いします。
The Mako Astronomy Club as well was biased in their club activities. With the president being a girl, she thought his generation was weak in things such as camping and preparations for observations. It seemed that hadn't changed with Yoshioka. By the way, why did you go out of your way to come here this time?
深い意味はありません。今回は他校の山積もありませんし、場所を変えた方がいいアイデアが生まれるかと思いまして。
She spoke without much change in expression, but seemed to be worrying about something quite a bit. Stargazing meetup going to be rough.
恥ずかしい話ですが、その通りです。やはり私のようなものではなかなかうまくいかないのかもしれませんね。
Just do the snake. Ugh. If Big Boss was even a second too late, or actually no, it doesn't even matter if Big Boss was too late, it's just if Snake didn't hesitate, Big Boss would have come for nothing. That was a bit of a spoiler, but hey, how fucking old is Metal Gear Solid 4 now? What was it called again? I have no idea. The first one was Twin Snakes, the second one was... What was the second one? Hold on. The second one was Sons of Liberty, the fourth one was Guns of the Patriots. The third one was Snake Eater. With old Snake. Also, I still have no idea about the Peacemaker and Portable Ops games, actually. I do know about the final boss for Peacemaker, though, and the final boss theme is quite something. Like, if y'all don't know the final boss for, like, I don't actually know too many of the final boss themes. The ones I do know is that in the final boss battle in Metal Gear Solid 4, it's literally just made up of 4 phases, basically, and each phase has, like, the perspective, the HUD, and a music from the respective game. So the first phase has the HUD from the first game, with the perspective from the first game, and an iconic song from the first game. So on for the second, third, and fourth phase. And the only other final boss music from Metal Gear Solid games I actually can think of right now is actually from Metal Gear Solid Peacemaker. Which is kind of funny. Peace Walker, not Peacemaker. Peace Walker. Final boss. It's against Zeke. What's the theme called again? Love Deterrence is the English title. Koi no yoku shiryoku is the Japanese one, and it's for some reason like it's fucking J-pop. It's fucking J-pop. It's actually really good. I actually really like the soundtrack, but still, they decided, hey, hit the J-pop and just put it in there. Punch it in there. He's fighting a half-naked girl in a giant mech suit. Anyways, Yoshioka had guided us as the president of the Six Stars Club throughout this year. But she had a bad habit of not recognizing her own ability and work.
部長は頑張ってますよ。隣で見てたコロナが一番よく知ってます。でも
What she said. If you weren't there for us, where would the Six Stars Club be now?
残念なコロナが割とまともな子になったのも、吉岡先輩の指導があればこそかと。ちょっとひなみ、さらっとひどいこと言わないでよもう。
Yoshioka laughed involuntarily at their
そう
exchange.
ですよね。白鳥先輩と比較したって意味はありません。私は私なりの形で、むつら星の会を守ってきました。ごめんなさい。 皆さんに不安を与えるようなことを言って、改めて次の官房会について話し合いをしましょう。
The conversation finally proceeded. The topic was, of course, next month's meetup.
まず、参加者については、各校の天文部員や参加希望した生徒たちですね。
OG や OB も呼ぶんですよね。久しぶりに姫ちゃんに会いたい。
無論そのつもりです。声をかけないと、後でうるさそうですからね。
She griped, but still looked happy. As far as gathering the alumni goes, can we rely on Shiratori? If we used her as a window, we should manage to collect a good amount of people. If interest didn't drum up here, she'd surely do it herself, so it'd be a big help.
では、白鳥先輩には、こちらから連絡しておきます。
あと、引退した3年の人たちは？
Yeah, we should call Tajiri
で
too.
も、ちょうど受験で一番忙しい時じゃないのかな。
That was definitely true. Around this time of year too, it's proposed to decrease our activities.
気分転換になるかもしれません。話だけしてみましょう。
She quickly made an announcement to the Six Stars group chat.
2月下旬に、むつら星の会で官房会を開催します。現3年生の皆さんは、参加希望されますか？
下旬なら OK だよ。その頃なら合否もはっきりしてるだろうし。
自分も同じですね。もし採用もらえてなかったら残念会でも開いてください。
I was gonna I like his talking, like his attitude there. Just like same here. If I can't find a job, let's turn it into a consolation party.
何言ってるんすか、田尻先輩。祝状会開けやって言ってほしいっす。
どっちでもお祝いしますよ。お疲れ様の意味を込めて。
Everyone bit into Yoshioka's message all at once. His response was pretty amazing.
のりちゃん、忙しいのかな？
Out of the third years, only Kano hasn't replied yet. Maybe she really is busy with the exam studying.
加納さん、これを見たら、お返事をいただけませんでしょうか
Yoshioka left her a note, but an inconceivable response came.
ああ、無理のりちゃん先輩。今インフル中だから。
It seems she'd gotten sick at a bad time.
受験に影響が出ないといいんですが、心配だね。
Kari told us pretty casually, but we got concerned considering it was Kano we were talking
ちょ
about.
うどインフルエンザが流行しているようですね。皆さんも注意してください。
コロナは予防接種してるから平気です。
Though she was full of pride, regrettably the other members hadn't had
やは
theirs.
り、予防接種しておけばよかったですね。
同じく。
Well, I guess I can go ahead and give you the shot now. I should stop. I play around with these just way too much. We wrapped up the discussion before it got dark outside. Really contacted others and would think about more concrete details individually, so it was hard to say things progressed.
それじゃあ、秋にお先に。部長、さようならです。
You two be careful on your way home.
本当なら秋に送ってもらいたいんだけどね。
Should I take you home
い
then?
や、冗談だってば。そう毎日送ってもらうんじゃ秋に悪いし。
I didn't think it was particularly unfair, but she probably needed to go home with friends rather than her boyfriend's friend once in a
コ
while.
ロナのことはお任せあれ。部長に代わり、不詳この山田ひなみが無事屋敷まで送り届けましょう。ひなみ、ちょっとカッコつけすぎ。わかってる。でもこのくらいでないと、部長の代役は務まらない。確かに、秋兄のかっこよさにはほど遠いけど。では参ろうぞ、コロナ姫。おー
They set off like a princess and her knight. I don't think princesses say, "Oh yeah!" I whispered a quip to myself.
本当ですね。まったく、コロナさんは。
Crappy Shoko heard me. But she didn't look unsettled at all and continued the conversation. Sorry about that girlfriend of mine.
いえ、こちらの方こそ、後輩がいつもご迷惑をおかけしています。
We suddenly laughed together after apologizing to each other.
なんだかおかしな感じですね。
You both feel responsible for her.
先輩と恋人、立場こそ違いますが、彼女に感じる気持ちは似ているのでしょう。
You were both thinking about her future. How would it turn out? It was certainly uncertain in ways, but she was without a doubt a talented person with promising
いい
prospects.
タイミングかもしれませんね。少しだけ私の話に付き合っていただけませんか？
I don't mind, but will it be long?
どうでしょう。15分もあれば終わると思いますが。
Then let's go back to the club room. Taking in the cold air is tough. Talking in the cold air is tough.
どうぞ。暑いので気をつけて飲んでください。
When we returned to the room, she made something to drink. Green tea?
先ほどは言えませんでしたが、いつもお茶は数種類持ってるんです。
It's pretty deep green. Its appearance alone was on a different level from the tea we gave her before.
狭山の深蒸しですから濃いめに出るんです。見た目だけでなく味も美味しいと思いますよ。
And if you'll excuse me, I took a quick taste. This is some good green tea. All we had at Oshino Daiichi, I think it was supposed to say. All we had at Oshino Daiichi was black tea, so this may have been the first time with green tea. I understood its difference even more so, since I normally only drank bottled tea.
さっきも申し上げた通り、普通のお茶を普通に入れただけですよ。
Well, even still, to be this
今
different.
の若い人はお茶の正しい入れ方もよく知りませんから。
She was part of those young people. But maybe Meiko and Seisen learned these kinds of things. Particularly since Meiko's astronomy club had a lady like Shiratori. They might have had more sensibility for it.
コロナさんにも私が先輩から教わったことを全て伝えられたと思います。
She held an old-fashioned key in her hand. What's that
明
key?
光学院天文部の部室。そのマスターキーです。部員には合鍵が貸し出されますが、マスターキーは部長が直接管理することになっています。
To be precise, the academy probably had one as well, but I suppose there was special meaning in the key that the president themselves
これは
held.
去年の3月、私が白鳥先輩から譲り受けたものです。そして来年、いいえ、引退する今年の秋には、コロナさんに託して去ることでしょう。
Next Meiko Astronomy Club president will be Korona. The most outstanding member right now was her. It was an unwavering truth that Korona would be the next president.
それだけではありません。むつら星の会長職も、コロナさんが適任だと考えています。
Current first years are a bit lacking, that's for sure. Aside of Korona, the most active would be Yamada. There was a girl from Seisen Astronomy Club that joined, but she was too
ま
new.
た名工の天文部員が会長になるのかという意見もあるかもしれません。ですが、コロナさんはむつら星の会にとっても特別な存在なんです。彼女はあの人が復活させた新生むつら星の会にとって最初のプレアデス7姉妹の一人なのですから。
So that's what it was. I was relieved. When we second years retire, the only one left of the seven sisters who gathered back then will be Korona, Narope. It was natural of her to hold that sacred.
もちろん、それだけではありません。彼女には私にないリーダーとしての資質があります。それは、白鳥先輩も認めていました。コロナさんこそ、時代のむつら星の会を担う存在なのだと。
I didn't need her to tell me. I felt her gifts as well. She made a strong impression last year when she stood at the forefront of starting our radio observations. So, what is it that's bothering you?
私は、あの人から受け継いだものを、そのまま彼女に託すだけで良いのか、と。私にしかない何かが必要だと思うんです。少なくとも、白鳥先輩はそうしてくれたはずです。
adding something of herself to what she inherited. If she didn't, there was no way we could expand our presence further. If that's the case, I've got something to talk about too. I opened up to her about the anxieties Korona carried. I hoped she might have some good advice for her, who was on the verge of losing sight of the joy of astronomy.
そうですか。コロナさんは
I think it was hard for her to bring it up with you.
別に気を使ってもらわなくても結構ですよ。彼女にとって空見くんの方が頼りになる存在でしょうから。
Felt like I was the right man in the right place, but I let it go rather than... I was just the right man in the right place, but I let it go rather than bring it up
今
again.
のお話を聞いて確信しました。やはりムツラ星の会を率いるのは彼女しかいません。ですが今のコロナさんのままではダメです。彼女にはもう一つ大きく成長してもらわないと。自分の夢を追い求めるだけでなく、周囲の人たちの夢も一緒にして羽ばたいてくれるような。そう。コロナさんなら白鳥先輩が描いた理想をより大きな夢に変えて受け継いでくれるでしょうから。
We approached the weekend without any further development in the plans for the meetup. It was the last weekend of January. After this, we would enter February. Please come up again! I took as many shifts as I could on the weekends. I did so because special expenses had increased since I started going out with Korona.
アキトもすっかりコンビニの店員が板についたわね。
Please get used to it already. Your stock taking hasn't progressed at all.
こんなの綺麗に陳列したって誰も買わないわよ。いっそこのまま好きに取ってもらうという陳列方法に。
You don't call that setting up. Maybe the feeling that her hopelessness increased with each passing... Maybe the feeling that her hopelessness increased with each passing day was just my imagination.
あれ、外で小太郎が吠えまくってるわね。さやでも来たのかしら。
Nah, the bark's different. Go check it out, so I leave the rest to you.
あ、こらちょっと、私と仕事を残して逃げるな。
お願いだからそんなワンワンしないでよ。ほら、骨ガム食べる？いい子だからおとなしくしてって。余計にはしゃいでるし。
Even though he was leashed up and safe, it must have been a trying reception for someone who didn't like dogs. Koto! I pet him in Korona's place. This should relax him.
まさにコロナの救世主様だよ。
I'm your boyfriend, not your savior, aren't I?
彼氏は彼氏でも超彼氏だよ。ひなみん的に言うならゴッドキュ
Regrettably, Yamada never said such lame expressions. So, what's up today? You should have told me you were coming.
今日はバイトのシフト入ってるって聞いてたからね。秋にコロナが来るって連絡したらバイト休もうとしちゃうでしょ。
I don't think I'd go that far. It might have been a good excuse for the manager to force me out of the work, though.
でね、このワンコをなんとか調教しようと思ったの。こいつがコロナの軍門に下れば安心して秋兄のところに来れるでしょ。
She used some pretty cruel words there. But it made my heart warm. At the
骨
results.
ガムをあげようとしたけどダメでした。
If you did that, you'd just make him happy. She hurriedly hid behind me, even though all he did was bark happily. If you're not good with Kotaro, just let me know when you're at the station. I'll come get you.
それはそれで秋兄の迷惑になるような。
Doesn't change much if Kotaro starts barking.
じゃあそうする。
She looks frustrated at admitting defeat. But it wasn't like she'd recover from her fear of dogs in one day. It put me more at ease if she asked for help rather than take on too much.
いただきまーす。豚まんうまい。
ほんと CM に使いたくなるくらい美味しそうに食べるわね。
じゃあさ、 CM に出てあげるから、豚まん一生無料券をちょうだい。
だそうだよ。あんたの持ち金で何とかしてあげたらどうだい？
無茶言わないでよ、母さん。そんじゃ、コロナもゆっくりしてってよ。私は部屋に戻るからさ。
Since they ran off since the manager showed her face.
まったくあの子は。いいかい、コロナちゃん。決してあんな大人になるんじゃないよ。
コロナ、ニートは嫌だもん。
そうだよね。ニートなんて嫌だよね。
Hearing this exchange from the side was pretty painful. Imagine the spirited bag with drooped shoulders at the difference between Korona and her own daughter. Korona looked at her phone, unconcerned.
姫ちゃんからだ。
Shiratori? What's it say?
今からこっち来ていいかって。
As long as it doesn't get in the way of work.
じゃあ、オッケーって返しとくね。
She quickly set the reply and then started studying in the cafe space. I watched her do so for a while as I stalked, since there was no customers at the moment.
お久しぶりね、二人とも。
Shiratori was as beautiful as ever.
姫ちゃん、ヤッホー。
やっほーいですわ。
Close, that last ho was unneeded.
そんなのどっちでもいいよ。ヤッホーい。
やっほほーい。
What was even going on? Even Shiratori was dragged into this sad state by her. So, what's wrong all of a sudden?
実はね、信用できる筋からムツラボシの会が官房会を開くという情報をゲットしたのよ。
She made it sound needlessly fancy, but it didn't need explaining. It did need explaining that she got it from Yoshioka.
おう、それで。
Can I just keep this out of it? Maybe we should try to glue it in again. Hold on to safety. I need to stop playing around with these.
無論、私も万難を排して参加しますわ。ただそれだけでは不十分だと思いましたの。昨年のプロジェクトスターライトでは OG にふさわしい助力ができませんでしたから。
そういうの、吉岡部長が怒らないかな。
怒るならまだ良い方ですわ。それはもう冷たい目で残念そうにため息をつくのよ。この人はどうしてこんなにダメなんだろうって。
That's rough.
でしょだから抜け駆けをすることにしたの。
That would probably just cause even more trouble later.
抜け駆けって何を企んでるの？
私は OG ですから、いろいろと金銭的余裕もできたのです。どうせ大勢招くのでしょ。それならばより良い環境を整えねばなりませんわ。ムツラボシの会をあまねく世界へ知らしめるために。
知らしめるために。
As passionate as always. Doing that while keeping quiet to Yoshioka would be unacceptable, though.
これをお使いなさい。
She extended a brown
これ
envelope.
は何？
軍資金ですわ。ああ、もちろん私が労働で得た報酬ですからご安心を。
If you told us you snatched from your parents, we wouldn't be able to take it.
さすがにそこまではしませんわ。人として当然のことです。
It may have been about one person like that, so let's be grateful she wasn't here now.
このお金をあなた方に託します。相談して好きに使ってくれて結構よ。もちろん吉岡に相談するのも許可します。
I don't know why Korona's route just bores me. I don't know why it just bores me.
ただコロナさんと空見くんが何に使うのか私に見せてくれると嬉しいです。期待させてもらっても構いませんわよね。
He pressured us with a smile, pointing to Yoshioka's side that wants to make the decision with Korona and I. Thus, leaving only the mysterious funds, Shiratori left in a hurry.
君、どうしよう。
An alumna put herself out to give us this out of her pocket, so let's make good use of it as her juniors. The only issue was letting Yoshioka know. Felt like we were about to hear some more of her grumbling. Hey, Yoshioka! We evaluated our options in regards to the unexpected money. Inside the envelope were 3 10,000 yen notes. It was nothing cheap, but a strange amount that we couldn't buy any advanced equipment with.
3万もあれば、ちょっと豪勢な打ち上げができる。
いや、それはさすがにまずいでしょう。
それに人数を考えると、豪勢なのはちょっと無理じゃないかな。
確かにおっしゃる通りです。さすがプリンセス、庶民のことにもお詳しいのですね。
アキトくん、もうなんとか言ってよ。
Yeah, but she's in disguise, hiding it from the world, so could you keep it quiet?
そうでした。敵方にリークされる危険を与えてはなりません。
She took my warning and straightened her back like a board. As usual, Saya was still the albedo princess in her head, it seemed. Sorry you all had to come here, though.
いいのよ、ちょうど暇してたし。
そうそう、私たちだってムツラ星のメンバーなんだから。
Surprisingly, even Saya was being proactive. I pretended not to see Yamada blowing her lid off next to me.
これはやはり白鳥先輩から与えられた課題でしょうか。
In other words, we're being tested on how we use
だ
it.
と思います。根拠はありませんが。
確かに、あの白鳥先輩らしくないかもしれませんね。
姫ちゃんは相変わらず美人で面白かったけどな。
手口がってことだよ。あの人ならもっとストレートにやるはずって田尻先輩も言ってたっす。
田尻さんがそのようなことを。あの方の意見なら信用に値しますね。
Just as the current members were connected, so too were the alumni and alumnae. There wasn't much communication before Shiratori, at least from what Miyaru said.
でも、姫ちゃんだしな。
やっぱり油断できないよね。
It wouldn't be strange for her to order the old members to form a group or something, just like the 6 schools in Hoshinonaka. If anything, she'd gladly do so.
ともあれ、あの人の思惑は気にしないことにしましょう。我々はこの与えられた予算をどう使うか考えるだけです。
That's true. It helped with everyone's opinions. An exchange of various ideas started. It was pretty natural that this sort of thing got lively, and we were no exception. We boisterously discussed how best to spend the money.
これはちょっとやばいかもな。
Jada whispered like he realized something. What is it?
ほら、これを見てよ。
He showed off his phone screen. On it was a moon cycle calendar for the month. Oh yeah, the moon. Should have looked into this sooner. The moon would be out all weekends in the later half of February.
第3土曜は月齢 8.3。第4に至ってはほぼ満月ですか。
What should we do? The third would definitely be better, but if the age was around 8, it wouldn't make for a bad atmosphere for watching the moon. It corresponded approximately to a first quarter moon. On return, the other bodies would be remarkably harder to see from the light.
なら、その前の週はどうなの？ほら、ここ。
そこってバレンタイン前じゃない。
Hikari looked
日
worried.
付を超えたらバレンタイン当日だよね。バレンタインデーに星見デートなんて、ちょっとロマンチックじゃない？
ロマンチックだなんて。あんたも言うようになったわね。
へへん。ピカリンと違って、コロナ、彼氏持ちですから。
Just look at her rubbing it in.
あんた言ってはならないことを。
押さえて押さえて。
She looked about ready to pounce on her.
予定より前倒しのスケジュールになるけど、いけそうっすか？
正式な告知はまだですから、問題ないと思います。ただ、急な話になりますので、参加者は減るでしょうね。
A good sky or the schedule. We didn't even have to think about which to choose.
いい星空に決まってるよ。ね、アキに。
Yeah, for sure. Just how hard did we work towards seeking an even greater night sky? Because we started Project Starlight across the country, those feelings were extraordinary.
そうですね。では、2月の観望会は、第2土曜の夜に開催ということにしましょう。
Was unanimously passed with a simple vote. With the date decided, all that was left was preparing for the day.
あとは、白鳥先輩からいただいた軍資金の使い道ですが、何が最善かなど、元より決められるものではありません。ですから、指名を受けたスラミ君たちに一任しようと思います。
Is that okay?
構いません。決定したら、使う前に一応報告だけはしてくださいね。
I'm fucking tired, help. Why am I so tired? Tired? I'm honestly thinking about just breaking it off here and recording the rest on Monday. You know what? I'll do that at the half-minute mark. I don't know why. I don't feel Korona. I didn't feel Korona in the base game. I still don't feel her in this. I know what it is. I just don't feel her. Of
では
course.
皆さん、当日まで時間もありませんが、よろしくお願いします。
Yoroshiku. In the end, the confusion of Shiratori's money led to a provisional 6 stars meeting. With the primary members all here, we proceeded with preparations for the meetup on the week after next. We dispersed with the sun sinking, and we all headed on our own ways home.
何か買うべきか。
Korona had been browsing things to buy online the whole time.
皆さんの意見は参考になりませんでしたか？
参考にはなったけど、決め手にかけると言いますか。
Everyone just brought up things they wanted after all. Astronomy was generally an expensive hobby. There were plenty of cheap telescopes, but if you wanted something serious, the prices spiked.
豊田先輩が言ってたこの赤道儀なんて、調べてみたけど桁が一つ違うし。
There should be so many emotes of me just holding these guns at this point, but for some reason none of them are showing up. I have no idea why. Probably because nobody on the server actually watches my videos, seemingly. At least from the admins. I think the only one who watches is Bud. Even then, it seems as if he's been a bit too busy to really stay up to date. He's 16A plus series. Something it is annoying about this is the fact that you actually have to pull it back for every shot, which in an actual air battle would be probably annoying. At least for a gun like that, where you can't just, like with this one, just shoot, 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 shoot. No, with this one, you can't really go like, okay, shoot, shoot. You really need to properly end a position like that. I have no idea how much power that this one even has.
多少オーバーするくらいの金額なら余剰分は何とかできると思いますが、これでは。
Whoops, that Toyota. It was after those stabilized binoculars that are next on the list. Compared to the equatorial amount, they were down by 1 digit. It was likely a technique to make his real favorite look cheaper.
それにしたって高すぎます。オーバーしても1万円以内でお願いしますね。
ということは最高で4万円か。アキニはどう思う？
Assuming there's some kind of test for us, wouldn't it be better to think that as if there's something the current 6 Stars Club needs? Something that isn't enough, something we're lacking. That kind of thing. We can grow the club by filling it. I think that's the message Shiratori wanted to send. What was necessary for the 6 Stars Club, not just what we individually wanted. She wanted to leave the job of president to someone who could think like that.
なるほど。空見くんはそのように考えましたか。
吉岡先輩？
明確な答えはないでしょう。ですが、彼の見解は道筋の一つでもあると思います。コロナさん、4月になればあなたも2年生です。後輩を指導していくべき立場になります。
コロナが先輩？
そうです。いつまでも小さなメローペのつもりでいてはいけないということです。大きな人になってください。あなたにはその資質があると思います。
She said nothing more. Nothing of the fact that she was someone who would one day be entrusted with the Meiko Astronomy Club or the 6 Stars Club. There was no need to. Yoshioka would tell her when she became fitting for that role.
そんなこと急に言われてもコロナ困るよ。
Korona was visibly befuddled by her words. They were different kinds of strong, intense expectations than those of her mother. She felt pressured because she sensed Yoshioka's feelings packed into them.
今日も素敵な飛行機の一本線が。飛行機はただのノイズでしょ？いいんだよ。コロナなんて所詮、この宇宙の広がりの中ではちっぽけなノイズでしかないんだから。
Okay, what the fuck happened? I feel a need to like put those guns away, far away, before she gets them in her hands and, you know.
部長、コロナに何かした？
Please don't make easily misunderstood remarks.
じゃあ何？こじらせちゃった人みたいになってるんですけど。
You're worse.
ひなみんに言われたくないよ。
As far as complicating things went, Yamada was far more experienced. She had pressure put on her by Yoshioka yesterday.
なるほど。
It seemed that was enough to have her
それ
understand.
でコロナは逃避しに星野第一に来てるってわけだ。まあそんなとこ。ちょっと吉岡先輩と顔を合わせづらい感じでさ。
She gazed at the radio observation data on her computer while speaking.
私にはよくわからないけど、そういうメンタルの時にはこれがおすすめ。
She started boiling water in the electric kettle. The sweet scent wafted throughout when she poured it into a cup.
はい、どうぞ。これ飲んで元気出して。ひなみ、ありがとう。これは、ココアだね。甘いやつ。ただのココアじゃないよ。ヘーゼルナッツ風味。
Did she lose fucking Nutella?
おお、確かに。やるね、ひなみ。
Fragrant smell mingled in it. Maybe she mixed in hazelnut oil or something.
緑茶のことはよくわからないけど、こういうのならわかるから。
Revengeful before, huh?
はい、部長。
Our club may have exposed our ignorance of green tea, but we could show up hospitality when it came to areas we were familiar with.
やるなぁ。すっごく美味しいよ、ひなみ。部長も飲みます？
Guess I'll have some. I drank the hazelnut hot chocolate and was immersed in a mellow atmosphere. Refreshed, Korona returned to her usual self, the exhausted expression no longer on her face.
よーし、元気出たぞ。じゃあ、改めてお金の使い道を。それなんだけどさ、こういうのってよくない？
This?
美味しい飲み物とか食べ物とか、それと椅子やテーブル、テントなんかな。冬の天体観測ってしんどいことばかりだよ。熱々のコーヒーやカップ麺がごちそうに感じるほど。
Cup noodles eaten when stargazing are certainly on a different level. Even instant coffee took on a flavor you couldn't get anywhere
素
else.
朴で手っ取り早いのがいいってのは理解できるよ。インスタントなのにこんなに美味しいっていう感動もわかる。でもさ、それにあぐらをかいちゃダメだと思うんだ。
Tea, coffee, hot chocolate, they were all delicious with a bit of ingenuity. Relying on nothing but the effect of the location and making light of the actual quality wasn't good.
専門好きならそういうのも趣があるって言うんだろうけど、普通の人には理解してもらえないかもしれないよ。もつら星の会を、天文の輪を広げていきたいと願うなら、そういうところこそちゃんとすべきだと思う。
Oh, fuck! A muscle down there didn't want to relax just now, so...
と、コロナは思ったんだけど、どうかな。
She looked a little unconfident at the end, but her feelings reached us. Must have been the answer she found. I like it. Let's take things in that direction then.
ちょうどバレンタインだし、コロナにしてはナイスアイデアだよね。そこまで褒めなくても。
Fun fact, I've never
じゃん。
ever gotten anything for Valentine's Day. Except for once. And that was friendly, something friendly just. Because everyone in the entire kindergarten got one. Yes, I have a very sad existence. As Yamada pointed out, the meetup overlapped with Valentine's. Meeting of stars for couples to enjoy. It might just work.
検問をやったら、こんな素敵な恋人ができました。なんて感じのキャッチフレーズで釣ろう。そうそう、実例もちゃんとあるしね。
You mean you and I?
一応、うちのお兄ちゃんとなるちゃんもそうだね。なら、そっちのカップルにも協力させよう。
She took her phone and sent a quick
よ
message.
し、送信と。お兄ちゃん今部活中か
She
な？
just kicks down the door. We're down. I think so. I felt a bit miserable for Takichi getting called out right in the middle. After more than a few minutes, we heard running in the hallway.
コロナてめえいきなり何なんだよ。
あ、お兄ちゃん、部活中じゃなかったの？
これから着替えて行くとこだったんだよ。
Takichi was quite perturbed. Our timing was probably the worst.
で、どうなってるんだ？
He wasn't good at handling his sister, so he asked me, as I was easy to talk to. We want to introduce some test cases for I found my other half through astronomy.
お前とコロナでいいじゃねえか。
コロナとアキニーだと、超すごすぎてこんなの真似できっこないよってみんなへこんじゃうでしょ？だからお兄ちゃんで手を打とうってわけ。
ふざけんな。そんなのやってられるか。
あれ？そんなこと言ってていいのかな？
んだよ。俺を脅すネタでもあんのか？
コロナは脅迫なんてしません。大勢の人になるちゃんと付き合ってるんだよってアピールできるんだよ。なんかよくない？
なるほど。
Korona tickled his desire for recognition. Gina was pretty dry, so she didn't give off a vibe that she was dating in front of people. I'd heard from Takichi in some love talk that it was his only source of
イー
satisfaction.
ノさんと 大っぴらにイチャつけるチャンスです。
いいな、それ。
Then can I ask you? Then can you ask her yourself?
おっしゃー、今すぐ頼んでみるぜ。
He went into the hallway in high spirits with phone in hand.
あれ、どうなりますかね。
Probably not good.
なるちゃんこういうの嫌がりそうだしな。
The main point is just how much he can swoon her. It was honestly up in air.
無理だって断られたぜ、畜生。
ああ、なんとなくそうなると思ってた。
これ以上言ったら別れるって言われたよ。どうしてくれるんだ、クソが。
It is something
ご
awful.
めんなさい。
後でなるちゃんにフォローしとくからね。
絶対だぞ、頼んだからな。
Dakichi left the club room in a rage. Should be sure to talk with her later too.
ごめんね。うちのお兄ちゃんが使えない子で。
コロナは悪くない。
Well, let's not show off to everyone with Korona and me as a... Let's show off to everyone with Korona and me as an astronomy couple.
改めてそう言われるとなんだか照れちゃうね。
リア充を満喫してるな。
だってリア充だもん。ねえ、ハッキに。
Yeah, it may be a bit uncomfortable hearing that word so frankly. Miata would normally say something like, "No, we should just die!"
天文をやったらキラキラでワクワクでドキドキになれるっていっぱいアピールしちゃおう。コロナたちならきっとできるよ。
Whoops. Right, let's work hard for Taka and Jino's part too.
よし、そういうことなら話は簡単だね。キーワードはドキドキの星見バレンタイン。
それちょっとシンプルすぎない？
こういうのはシンプルなのがいいんだって。みんなひなみんみたいに頭良くないんだしさ。
なるほど。高次元思考生命体のことは容易に理解されないということか。
I know what you just said, but Korona was probably right in this regard.
かっこよくて快適でドキドキしちゃうような星見環境って一体どんなのがあるかな。
For now, let's fill it out with a list. Let's fill it out with a list. Or feel it. Am I just retarded? Feel it out. I'm getting tired. That's my excuse. For the time being, we all brought up items that we would need for a stylish star viewing. Food and drinks, tables and tableware. Even if observation equipment would be impossible, there were plenty of cute things to fend off the cold.
見る星もそれっぽい方がいいよね。
バレンタインっぽい星？
Valentine's itself we can't do, but there are tons of constellation myths about
そ
romance.
こは姫ちゃんの出番だね。星座語りをやってもらおうよ。
In that case, it wouldn't be bad to ask Tajiri for commentary too. His stories are seriously easy to follow. With the date change, we weren't sure if they could attend anymore, so I wanted to ask if possible.
でも、引退した先輩にばかり頼るのは良くない気がする。
あ、そっか、そうだよね。企画したのはコロナたちメンバーだもん。
Oh,
引
fuck.
退したみんなはゲスト扱いにしなきゃ。
Let's try our best with the members we have now. We won't be able to graduate in peace otherwise.
コロナたちもやればできるんだってとこ見せてあげよ。
She pointed her computer screen to Yamada and me.
分子金の使い道これにしない？これならきっとみんなも楽しんで使えると思う。
On screen was a camping
なる
tent.
ほど。それは盲点だった。
The one we have now is old and
きっ
small.
とこれからメンバーも増えるよ。だとしたらこういうのが絶対必要になるはず。
私は賛成。部長は？
I agree, of course. It was just within the 4,000 yen on the mail order site. It wasn't fancy by any means, but it was a sturdy tent from a famous brand.
じゃあ吉岡先輩とみんなに報告してから新しいテントを買っちゃおう。
Yeah! I should stop, bobbing my foot.
なんかいろいろすっきりしたな。
They're about to have sex again, aren't they? Oh well, not on my watch. I like how I'm almost done. I don't only have three saves. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this one and see you next time. Bye-bye. I need to take a